Good Game Spawn Point, the show for gamers by gamers. I'm Bajo.
And I'm Hex.
And I am Darren.
This week we check out the spiky hairdos of Dragon Ball Xenoverse.
Start fighting with everything I've got. If we lose, this whole universe is going to be torn to bits.
Hairspray sales in Toki Toki Town must be through the roof. But before all that, Bajo and I will take each other on in round 2 of the Spawn Point League.
Yes, this week, Hex, I'm going to give it 110%.
That's not possible, Bajo. 100% is a percentage of maximum output. Even 101% would be beyond your actual capacity.
Yeah, okay, Darren, let's not get bogged down in the mathematics of it all. Hey, why don't you tell us about your challenge for this week?
All right, Spawnlings, get your brain cells buzzing because it's time for Darren's challenge! This week, I'm asking you this. What is the name of the small cat-like creatures regularly featured in the Final Fantasy series? Answer at the end of the show.
Meow. Oh, I know it! But first, here's the news with Goose.
News. Thanks, guys. Goose here with all the gaming news from around the world. Tech giant Google has developed an artificial intelligence capable of learning how to play games. Known as DeepMind, the intelligence was taught to play 49 Atari 2600 games. The AI had no pre-programmed knowledge of the games it was shown, but an advanced algorithm was able to analyze them and figure out what actions to take to get the highest score. It was then digitally rewarded when it did well, encouraging it to learn more and perform better. So far, it has managed to beat a highly skilled human score in 29 of the games, and I, for one, welcome our new digital overlord. But speaking of highly skilled humans, one has just set a new world record for collecting all 120 stars in Super Mario 64. Two speedrunners known as Nero and Puncation were having a friendly contest to see who could collect all 120 stars the fastest with no intention of setting a world record. Nero even saved and quit the game twice, which extends the playtime, yet he still managed to post a time of just 1 hour, 42 minutes and 15 seconds. That's about 17 seconds faster than the previous record, which was also held by Puncation. Just goes to show you don't always need to try to succeed. And that's all for this week. Back to you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, spawnlings and robots, it's time for another round of the SP League! This is where Hex and Bajo face off in a series of gameplay challenges to win the ultimate prize! Of which I've yet to work out or reveal, but it will be great.
All right, score check, please, Darren.
Hex 1. And Bajo, you are on 0.
Yes, I know I'm on 0, Darren. It wasn't that long ago.
Nil.
Yeah, I know. I know I'm on 0. Okay, you know what? As Hex won last time, do you think this time I could actually pick the game?
As official SP League referee, I'll allow it.
Well, wait a second, Darren. I really...
NBA Jam! Boom shakalaka!
Ah, good choice! To the court! Come on and slam, and welcome to the jam! Ah, Space Jam!
NBA Jam. This is my all-time favorite basketball game. Well, this and waste paper bin basketball.
Well, I hope you're better on the digital court, Bajo, or this is going to be a slam dunk.
That's a warning, Hex. No puns allowed. Read the rules.
What?
Right, well, I think we better start this, Hex.
Play ball!
And let's get this party started.
Traveling the court. Got the ball.
And great anticipation with the steal. LeBron.
Oh, quit it.
Nice steal, Bajo. The stealing the ball has to be done at just the right time, or you'll waste valuable seconds as you swipe at the air.
With the fake pump fake.
Bajo, quit pushing me.
Darren, is pushing legal in NBA Jam?
I'll allow it.
It's in the game, Hex.
Yeah, well, I think it's unsportsperson-like. Oh, I'm going for it. And dunk!
Excellent dunk, Hex. Nothing beats the thrill of a dunk. Boom shakalaka.
All right, I'm going to go for the shot. I'm going to go for it. Here we go. Oh!
Excellent shot, Bajo. By waiting until maximum height to release the ball, you increase your accuracy and stand a better chance of getting it in, and a better chance of not having the ball stolen.
I have to say, you're actually quite good at dribbling, Bajo.
What did I say, Hex? No puns allowed.
No, Darren, Bajo is actually dribbling.
Oh, sorry, I do that when I'm concentrating.
It's disgusting, but I'll allow it.
Loses control of the ball.
All right, we're counting down. Here we go. Oh,
Oh, no!
I'm gonna go for it.
Just intercept. No, don't. Oh.
Recovered.
It's me, reception.
Bajo, you've gotten so many dunks in a row that you're on fire. You can now do a mega super dunk. Go for it. But,
All right, here I go.
Boom shakalaka!
It's quite
5 seconds left.
Go.
Here's the layup with the soft touch at the rim. Dallas wins the game.
Bajo wins.
Good game, Hex.
Good game, Bajo.
Good game. Spawn point. Back to the studio.
Oh, guys, that was enjoyable, and not just because I won, although that is a pretty big part of it.
Yeah, that was fun.
You both did well, and yet you could both do so much better. Even a simple 2-on-2 basketball match such as NBA Jam has many strategies you can develop over time. But it's time to tally the votes. I call upon our keeper of the scoreboard, Goose.
Hi, guys. Okay, so Bajo won this round, which means that his 0 goes to a 1. However, did I hear that Hex had a violation, Darren?
Affirmative. She made a sports pun, which was against the rules this week, but it won't affect her score, so the current league standings stand as a tie.
Ooh, it's neck and neck now, Bajo.
Thanks, Goose.
Bye, guys. Bye, Goose.
Bye. It shall be a long, hard-fought battle. I look forward to your next encounter.
Yes, Darren?
What's going on?
Data dump incoming. Welcome to Darren's Data Dump, where I dump valuable info directly into your brains. Today's topic, sports sims. When video games were still in their infancy, deflecting a simple shape back and forth between two players was considered the height of home entertainment. Games like Pong, soccer, and tennis all utilized the same simple concept, and it was considered a believable simulation of the real-life sport. As graphics began to improve, programmers were able to introduce more identifiable shapes and improve gameplay. Games like basketball on the Atari 2600 were still simple, but they managed to better represent the characteristics of the sport. The later 8-bit systems were finally able to generate multiple characters on screen and include more complex mechanics. Tennis on the NES could render a court with the proper perspective, and even include details such as an umpire and a shadow for the ball to help players judge its position in the air. The introduction of the 16-bit systems finally allowed sports sims to blossom, with a detailed simulation of correct rules, scoring systems, and animation that could show off the individual flair of talented sportsmen and women. What a dunk! These days, we enjoy an incredible depth of realism in our sports sims, mostly thanks to the technological advancement of 3D engines. You could almost mistake it for the real thing, even if it is essentially still just moving that ball back and forth across the screen. Just like Pong.
Oh, thanks for that, Darren. It's so nice to have the dumps back.
I've been building up for a while.
Yes, all right. Well, I think it's time we go to the spawn point desk.
Oh, affirmative. Oh, question time. Question time.
All right, well, I'm looking forward to getting some answers for these questions, Bajo, so let's get stuck into them. First up, we've got this one from King of Thumbs Up, who is in Thumbtopia, which is in Victoria. Greetings, GGSP. I am the King of Thumbs Up, and I have a couple of questions for you. 1. I saw the game Kirby and the Rainbow Curse on the Wii U, and the game was claymation style. This reminds me of the game The Neverhood Chronicles, which was also a claymation game. Do you think games are getting more creative with the art style? 2. I heard Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U can support up to 8 controllers. What are the controllers you can use? Please answer these questions of I will give you the lowest thumbs down ever, which I have never done before. P.S. Here is a rose.
Well, Your Highness, that's a great question. In fact, it deserves a double royal thumbs up. But I definitely say yes, I do think games are getting more creative with their art styles.
Well, I don't know if that's exactly fair, Bajo. I mean, I think games have always been really creative with their art styles. I mean, a lot of games these days are trying to look like old games even.
Well, that is true. I just think games are getting even more creative, and I think there's a few reasons for that. Partly because gaming hardware is getting more powerful with each year that goes on, and that does allow developers some ways to be more creative with the games and make them look any way that they want to.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. I mean, sure, Neverhood was actually made 20 years ago, so it's not like the claymation style itself is new to gaming. But they had to make it using traditional claymation, so they physically had to make everything by hand and then shoot it on film.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Computers back then weren't powerful enough to actually create something like that from scratch. But nowadays, consoles and computers are powerful enough that developers can make something look just like claymation if they want to.
That's a good point. And I think as well, the fact that there are so many great creation tools freely available to people means that there are so many creators out there who are free to experiment with new styles.
The rise of independent developers has seen a real explosion in art styles, hasn't it?
Oh, for sure. But obviously lots of credit goes to big developers too, like Nintendo and Media Molecule, for pushing those arts and craft styles like paper, wool and clay in their games.
Yes, I do find them adorable. And the hand-painted look of the Rayman games from Ubisoft have been stunning as well.
Oh, for sure. But let's not go down this rabbit hole, Bajo. We'll be here all day listing pretty games. But yes, there's such a great range of styles and art and games, so we tip our hats to all of you out there making games look so good.
Hang on a sec, Hex. Did you bring a hat?
No.
I don't have a hat. I'm not wearing a hat. Why are you going to
tip our hat is just an expression, like what they used to do in the old days.
Well, I don't think you should talk about tipping a hat if you don't have one. As for your second question, you can pretty much use any Wii U compatible controller for 8-player Smash. You can use Pro controllers or Wiimotes, or if you have an adapter, you can use GameCube controllers as well.
But you can only use one of the big Wii U gamepads at a time, though. Other than that, any other controller that works on the Wii U should work fine in Smash. But moving on now to this one from your first name
Bajo.
in that place.
Bajo Land. Hi! It would be great if you could reply to some of my questiones. Yes, quintinosnos is a word. 1. French Perth does exist because there is a French embassy in Perth. 2. Could you please review or just talk about Pro Cycling Manager or Tour de France 2014? 3. Why are the umpires so bad in FIFA 15? 4. Please bring back rubber chickens. They had more character, they were more interesting, they were more precise than stars, and they are something special for this show. 5. Why is Darren being shown so much? He is literally taking over the show. I remember that he used to be on Ask Good Game 1 in 5 episodes, but now I see more of him than Bajo and Hex. Please answer my thingo.
Whew, well, there's a heap of questions there, so I guess we should maybe start with your last question. Your first name? And get Darren on the phone to, well, explain himself.
Indeed, Hex. Let me just get him on the phone.
Hello, Bajo.
Darren, explain yourself.
What do you mean?
Well, what I mean is, are you trying to take over the show? How come you're always interrupting us?
What, Bajo?
I said, how come you're always interrupting
Am I
us?
doing what, Bajo? What am I
How
doing,
come you-
Bajo?
How come you're...
What are you complaining about?
Darren, shush! Mute. How come you're always interrupting Ask Spawn Point?
Oh, what can I say? My databases are bursting with gaming knowledge. I'd overload if I didn't dump my data regularly. Must share knowledge.
Yes, all right, settle down, Darren. But you're not trying to take over the show, though, are you?
Negative?
Suspicious. Well, that's good to know, but while you're on the line, have you played Pro Cycling Manager or Tour de France 2014?
Negative. I was banned from all cycling games in 2012 after I was caught using modified code in online competition.
You were caught hacking, Darren? Sacre bleu!
Well, everyone was doing it. I was just staying competitive.
Oh, bad robot. Well, have you ever played them, Hex?
I can't say that I have.
Okay, so how are we going to talk about them if none of us have played them?
Well, I would assume that they both involve cycling.
Yeah.
And one would be about managing cyclists, and the other would be set in France?
In 2014?
Yes!
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff, guys. Well, there you go. An in-depth discussion there for you. Sorry, we didn't really know much about that. Oh, and Darren, the Spawnling had another fact for us. Did you know there's actually a French Perth in real Perth at the French Embassy? So there's two French Perths.
Well, technically, the French embassy is in Canberra. There is only a consulate in Perth. And it's also a common mistake to say that an embassy or consulate is foreign soil. They enjoy special privileges, such as immunity from most local laws under the Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations, but are not considered to be sovereign territory of the represented state.
Oh, that was really confusing. I didn't understand any of that, Hex.
I didn't know you were such an expert in international law, Darren.
Well, I did spend several years serving as the Australian robot ambassador to the United Intergalactic Robotic Council, you know.
Doug, can you please make sure this treaty gets to the Dalek delegation straight away, accompanied by a bottle of my finest motor oil?
Right away, Mr. Darren.
Generosity in diplomacy is its own form of power. Fried chicken.
Sure you were, Darren. Thanks for your time, though.
Oh, my pleasure. Goodbye.
Bye. That was weird. Darren had a strange accent.
Yeah, it sounded like Southern American or
Yeah, it
something.
was pretty peculiar.
Odd. Well, as for why refs in FIFA 15 are so bad, well, maybe it's to replicate the feeling of a real match, because that's what happens in a real match. Well, human refs make mistakes all the time in real life.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, what game was he watching?
And as for bringing back rubber chickens over stars, well, we want you to give the stars a chance. We're always keen to hear what you guys think and what you like and don't like. There's actually a poll up on our website right now asking if you prefer the stars or chickens. So if you feel strongly, then make sure to vote on there, and we shall take great interest in the poll results.
Maybe we could bring the chickens back and make it out of 5 rubber chickens.
That might be a bit confusing. Oh, what if we made it out of 100 chickens? So many chickens, that would be super
No,
precise.
Barger, that would be too many chickens.
Oh, too many chooks?
Anyway, I think on that note, we're out of time for this week. But if you've got a question that you'd like to ask us, then you can go here and send it in.
I like it when you walk like a chicken, because their head's always moving.
Me specifically?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I don't walk like a chicken
Don't you?
ever.
Oh,
No.
I've seen you walk like a chicken. Do you want to see my chicken impression?
Yeah. Well, I've never walked like that. But if I was going to, it would look like this.
Come along, you two. It's time to save the world in Dragon Ball Xenoverse.
Kamehameha!
Let's go!
Dragon Ball Xenoverse is a 3D fighting game and happens to be the latest video game based on the popular Dragon Ball Z anime series. And unlike most of the previous games that follow the original plot, Xenoverse has a completely new story.
The evil duo Toa and Mira are manipulating timelines in order to steal energy. It's your job to correct history and restore the timeline to normal.
Affirmative, Darren. The main plot is called The Time Patrol, where future Trunks uses Shenron to summon you to help him in his mission.
This also means that you get to create your very own character.
Oh, I love character creation. There are several races you can pick from. Saiyan, Earthling, Margin, Namekian, or Frieza race, which all have their own unique bonuses and weaknesses.
Now, as you both know, whenever I get to create my own character in a video game, I like to get a bit creative, a bit experimental.
Oh no.
What have you done, Bajo?
Let me introduce you to Margin Bajo.
Are those parachute pants?
Isn't he magnificent?
Sure. I mean, I like his hat.
Well, I went with the Margin race because while they do move slower, they start with more health.
I went with the Frieza race myself. They're much more nimble on the battlefield, and they have a tail which really comes in handy for combos. Plus, they have this cool beam attack that paralyzes the enemy for a short period of time. There are also loads of customization options for your character.
Yeah, you can purchase items, mix materials, or buy clothes to improve your stats. I even found a pair of stylish sunglasses to wear. But let's talk about the core of this game, the fighting.
You have two main buttons for attacking, both a weak and heavy attack. These can be strung together in different ways for different combos. The heavy attack can also be held down at different intervals for even more variety.
You also have the Ki Blast attack, where you fire off multiple shots or even just a single. Good to keep your enemy on the back foot.
Yeah, there's a surprising amount of depth to this combat. There are special attacks on top of your basic attacks, which are activated by combining the right trigger and face buttons.
And on top of that, there are ultimate attacks. These do a considerable amount of damage and are quite the spectacle when performed. Although when you add in blocks, counters, teleports, locking on and grabs, there's quite a lot going on. I feel this might overwhelm a newcomer to the series or genre.
Yeah, that chaotic fighting style is true to the series, but it just doesn't translate very well to a video game format. And the camera did struggle to keep up with the player at times, especially in those smaller locations.
I would say this is probably the best looking Dragon Ball game out there. The animations for the fighting moves are just so fluid, and I love the energy aura you have when zipping about a map.
Affirmative. There's quite a nice range of locations, including some where you can fight underwater. I did, however, expect more destructible environments. Most of the time, the damage would return to its original shape almost instantly.
Yeah, that bugged me a little bit too, Darren. There is another set of side missions you can do that are called parallel quests. You can access these missions in the central world called Toki Toki City. This area acts as a kind of online hub where you can see other players online, although you have limited interaction with them really.
Yeah, I would love to be able to fly around this area because, you know, your character can fly, but no, you have to make your way around slowly.
Perhaps the greatest thing was the large number of robots around this area. More robots is always an improvement. And these parallel quests are great for earning some experience on the side to level up your character and raise your attributes.
Well, I thought they were pretty dull, to be honest. I mean, a lot of them that I encountered would just kill 20 of these or 10 of that. And unfortunately, we also had some problems playing online. There have been some server issues since the launch of the game.
Yeah, that is a bit disappointing, isn't it? We've mostly been playing offline, which lets you select computer companions to fight by your side.
Yeah, and for the most part, I found the AI to be pretty good. They would deal some decent damage to the enemy, although sometimes they would move around aimlessly or stand still.
We should wrap up this review, you two. Just saying.
It's a good thing there's no pun violations in our reviews, Darren. Well, this is a great addition to the franchise, and I think fans of Dragon Ball will love it. There's plenty of content too. I'm going to give this 4 out of 5 stars, guys.
I do think this is a decent fighter at its core, but I found a lot of those missions to be pretty grindy, and the voice acting was a bit average at times as well. I'm giving it 2.5 out of 5 stars.
I honestly didn't expect this to be so much fun. All right, there will be no more out of bounds.
Well, that's just about all the time we have for the show today, but Darren, please give us the answer to your challenge.
Affirmative. At the start of the show, I asked you this. What is the name of the small cat-like creatures regularly featured in the Final Fantasy series? And the answer is... Moogles!
Oh, they have those funny little balloons on top of their heads.
Yeah, and bat wings. As far as cats go, they're quite strange.
Yeah, so cute though. Next week on the show, we'll be buckling up for our review of Scream Ride.
I'll just warn you now that robots and roller coasters aren't such a good mix.
Oh, Darren, are you worried about robo-spewing?
I'm just being cautious.
Well, your caution is noted, Darren. Until next time, may all your games be good ones. Hex out.
Bajo out.
Darren out.
Darren, what's your robo-spew made of?
Oh, it's actually a slurry of radioactive waste and the dust that accumulates in my grill on space journeys.
Oh, that's kind of rainbow coloured, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it is a bit. Yeah, I did notice a bit of cheese sandwich in there.
Oh, it's got all the wonders of the universe in it.